Instagram just made a few huge changes to the algorithm, which will ruin some pages, explode others, and today I'm going to break down exactly what's happening, what it means, and how you need to adjust your strategy to keep growing, to improve your reach, and how to build your business or audience on the platform. Within this update, we have changes to how reposted content will get recommended. We have a big update to how smaller accounts are getting judged in the algorithm, and Instagram shadow banning accounts who do this one thing too often. Let's get into it. Now, the first big change is a boost to smaller accounts in the algorithm. Instagram came out and said that previously in surfaces with recommended content, Reels were ranked primarily based on how an account's followers engaged with them. This meant that accounts with the largest followings often saw the most reach. We have been working on a new way to rank recommendations to give all creators an equal chance of breaking through. They then went on to say that through this process, every single piece of eligible content is shown to a small audience that we think will enjoy it, regardless of whether they follow the account that posted it or not. As this audience engages with the content, the top performing set of Reels are shown to a slightly wider audience. Then the best of these are shown to an even wider group, and so on. We'll roll this out over the coming months. Now, essentially, this is how the algorithm works already. Your content is shown to a small group of people, then based off how they react to it, Instagram will either increase or decrease its reach. But because Instagram said they are making a change, there must be something different happening here. What I assume is happening is the recommended reach, which was previously going mainly to bigger pages, is now going to smaller accounts, so you have more of a test audience to show your stuff to, and Instagram can make better predictions. One other interesting thing I noticed here in this statement is the language that they used. Initially, they said every eligible piece of content, but then they said the top performing set of Reels, which makes me think this algorithm will mainly be for Reels rather than all content. However, time will tell, and maybe I'm just over analyzing a specific choice of words, and it is all content. Now, this update in general is great for smaller accounts and giving them more of a chance. However, you still need to be creating interesting content that people engage with. You have to still keep doing that. You can't just leave that advice behind, because otherwise it doesn't matter how large the test group is. If people don't engage with it well, you simply won't get any extra reach and you won't grow an audience, and the test group who do watch it will not engage, they won't follow you, they won't buy from you, and so on. Now, the second big change is Instagram announced they will be changing the algorithm to always favor the original creator of a piece of content, meaning reposted content will get significantly less reach. They recently came out and said, when we find 2 or more identical pieces of content on Instagram, we will only recommend the original one. This means that the original content will directly replace the reposted content in places where recommended content such as Explore, Reels, and in-feed recommendations. Which, to give you an example, essentially means if I take a really cool photo here in New Zealand and I post it on my account at Josh Ryan, it might not initially get pushed in the algorithm because my audience is all about marketing. And so they might not engage very well with a photo of cool mountains or a beach or a landscape in New Zealand, which then means Instagram don't think the content is very engaging because people didn't engage with it. And so therefore they don't promote it. But then my friend who owns the page at New Zealand sees the post, loves it, and because his page is a bunch of nice photos of New Zealand, he decides to save this photo and posts it. His post will then be shown to his audience. And the old way the algorithm worked is if his audience engaged with it really well, his post would then get pushed onto the Explore page, in-feed suggestions, and get shown to a bunch of new people. If those people on the Explore page responded to it well, it would keep getting pushed to more and more people, and he'd gain a ton of followers. That's how a post like this that I'll chuck up on the screen has got over 78,000 likes on his account and close to 2 million views. However, with this new change to the algorithm, what would happen now is when Instagram see the post on New Zealand doing really well, and it's my content, instead of promoting that post on the Explore page and suggested feed, they would first search for the original publisher. They would find that I am the person who first posted it, and then they would push my post across the Explore page and suggested feed. Even if the repost was only made months after my original one, meaning the reposted content only goes to the existing followers and I would get all the reach to new people. Now, I might not have explained that perfectly, but hopefully that makes sense, and it might be tricky for the algorithm to initially figure all of this out, but hopefully over time it becomes better and better. What this does is massively rewards original creators whilst making it harder for what Instagram are calling content aggregators or repost accounts to grow. Now, they did add to this saying, we won't replace content if it has been changed in a significant way. For instance, if it's materially edited to become a meme, a parody compilation, narrated with a new voiceover, or remixed to express a reaction. Which means if you are a page that currently reposts content, you simply need to up your game and start adding something to the content that you repost. Either collect 5 pieces of content to put together into a carousel, make a meme, add a voiceover, or react to it so that you can still get reach on your content and probably make it even better. If you don't do this, your page will essentially be shadow banned forever because it's never going to get pushed to new people if all you're doing is reposting content. Now, Instagram ended this statement by saying, if we find a piece of reposted content, we will add a label linking to the original creator, which will remain visible to the followers of the account reposting it. So essentially forcing credit to the original creator, which is good. However, then they added that for now, if either the original creator or the account reposting the content want to remove a label, they can tap the 3-dot menu on the piece of content, which seems a little bit weird because Instagram have just said that they're going to forcibly add credit to reposted content, but the account that has reposted it can remove it if they choose, which seems odd. Like, I would understand it if they let the original creator remove it, but I don't understand the point of this feature. Hopefully in future they change that. But the key takeaway here is stop reposting content and learn how to create your own. Now, before we get into the third and final update, if you do want to learn how to create better content, grow your audience, and get paid, you can pre-order the new Instagram course that I'm working on at half price. I'll leave a link to it in the description, although within the sort of week of this video coming out, it's probably going to go live and that discount will expire. So you're going to want to act quick on that. Now, the third and final big change follows the same theme of the previous one and comes down to your account getting shadow banned. With the shift towards wanting accounts to stop reposting content, Instagram have come out and said that accounts that repeatedly 10 or more times in the last 30 days post content from other Instagram users that they didn't create or enhance in a material way will not be shown in services where we recommend content. These accounts can become eligible for recommendations again after 30 days have passed since the last time they posted unoriginal content. So not only will reposted content not be recommended to new people on Instagram, but if you post reposted content regularly, then none of your content will get recommended for the following month, including any original content that you create. Now, this means that you have to be more careful with what you post and maybe save reposting content for things that are important and that you sort of need to share with your audience rather than it being your main content type. Or maybe just save reposting content to your stories where you can share someone's post or share the original post to your stories. Now, hopefully Instagram will give us clearer guidelines on exactly what is considered original versus enhanced content so you don't accidentally break the guidelines. But considering you get 10 chances per month, we should be able to figure this out ourselves. It's not like you're just going to randomly get shadow banned. Like, you will see one warning and then a second, and then a third, and then a fourth, and you'll be able to figure out sort of how far you can push things or how far you can't push things. Now, the other thing I hope, and I would assume isn't the case, is that this gets backdated, meaning I hope Instagram don't bring this change in and then they say, like, all of a sudden over the past 30 days, you've already reposted 12 times and therefore are shadow banned for a month. I doubt that would be the case. That would be a little bit ridiculous, but you never really know with these platforms. So hopefully it's like starts fresh as soon as they announce it and they send out some sort of notification. They did say that they will be showing you in your account center when content is considered reposted. So worth keeping an eye on that. Now, how should we react to these updates? I want to hear your thoughts below, but personally, it shows me Instagram are wanting accounts to lean into creating more content and maybe saving reposting content for your stories instead of feed, which honestly probably makes the platform better if there is less reposted stuff and more original stuff. If you're a smaller account, you're gonna get more chances to grow, but you're probably going to have to still create great stuff if you want to grow. And if you're a bigger account, you need to make sure you are creating original content or enhancing the content you do post in some way, shape, or form. If you need help making better content and growing your audience, I will also link my free course down below. And aside from that, I'll see you in the next video.